Hi everyone, welcome back to Grandpa Mark's Hobbies and build update number 1 of Revell's 49 Merc Special Edition. I got color on this car, along with a lot of other things. But let's move the guys out of the way here, and I'll show you what we got into over the weekend. Don't have a whole lot of people here today, but boy, this weekend we sure did, and they were busy. So I'm going to move the car out of the way for a second, and I'm going to bring the chassis in. This is going to be my color scheme for this. I'm going to do Tammy's purple and Tammy's lavender. And you're saying lavender? I don't remember seeing a metallic lavender from Tamiya. Well, I made it yesterday. What it is 50-50 mix of X16's purple and, long stretch there, X11 chrome silver, and that's all I did, 50-50 mix. But I decided we're going to really jazz this thing up. We'll do the body in a metallic lavender. I got a little scratch there, but that's going to rub out because it is deep enough. I did that right at the end, too. But thanks to Jim, we have chrome on the sides, just like I really wanted. We will bare metal foil those down the road or paint them with chrome. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with that yet. But the hood, we're going louvers. I wasn't positive. I painted both just to make sure. Put them on and off. The louvers got to stay. Just with the stance of this car. And I mean, look, that car is just going fast. It needs the louvers. So I did that, made the decision before I painted, good thing, that this car right here is going to need lit. So for sure we're doing headlights, for sure we're doing front turn signals, and for sure we're doing back turn signals. And with all that, I was thinking about running the wires like Bruce did over at Bruce's Eclectic World. Check that out because it's genius. But I was going to do that. Instead, though, I figured if I want to take this somewhere and I don't want the base, then I want to be able to power it from the car itself. So I cut the trunk out. And, man, it took about an hour, but it was pretty straight lines. And even with straight lines, I still had to fix where I scratched them. But then I put this thing on, and it wanted to slide backwards and not stay in place. So what I did, and I showed a picture of this on the Facebook group, but I glued a magnet right on the back of the trunk, right on the edge. And when that was dry, I also put 4 little tabs on the inside, just real tiny, just so this has something to lay on. But when that was dry, I set it in place, and I took another magnet, and I super glued it right up against it, just like that. And now that's not super duper powerful like these neodenims are, but it's strong enough to keep that thing from going anywhere. You know, jostling around a little bit. I had one that I put the 2 magnets together this way, and you almost need a pair of pliers to get it apart. Where with this one, I can kind of just push it up and it'll come out. I am thinking about putting a magnet here just so I could touch it and lift it out of the way. I did that on another one. But that little magnet, even though it's not butt to butt like that, it's just, you got to make sure that if this one's north up, then this one has to be south up. And they just pulled together sideways, which I didn't know what it'd do until I tried it, and it worked. So there we go. And to cut that out, I was asked, and I have it. I left it out so I could show you, and now I can't find it. Here it is, right here. Relatively cheap. It's my Trumpeter panel cutter, and I've had this thing, gosh, 10, maybe 12 years, and it's still just as good as when I started. It never dulled. I never even tried to sharpen it. I don't need to. It cuts enough to where it'll leave a deep scratch in there if you mess up. But there we go with that. I'm going to take this off, and I want to show you, I filled the 2 holes in the front here for the windshield wipers, because Bruce built this, and he said that when you put this in, and if you lift the hood up, it's going to pop them off. And I was like, oh, really? So I looked, and sure enough, that thing, you almost have to pull it out and up and around it to get those to clear, and I know I wouldn't do that, and I would bust them off. So I just filled the holes and said, nah, we're not going to put windshield wipers on it. It's going to the show anyhow. The other thing I did is I drilled the latch out on the front, so the post has something to grab onto, just something to do. I painted. I messed up right here a little bit, but that was all me, not the brush or anything. I touched it. But I painted this. I really wanted this to be that lavender on both sides and around the front here, because, and up here, because the padding kind of starts right here. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to two-tone this to where I'm going to have the lavender, and then I'm going to do a pale purple on here. So it'll still be the purple, but I'm going to mix gloss white in with it, or maybe even flat white in it. And then I can always hit it with quick shine to bring the shine up to where I want it. Once I get this, once it dries, I've just painted it yesterday, so I'm still considering it not hardened. But once it hardens, I'm going to, I took that out for a reason. I'm going to give it a quick polish, because it is pretty darn smooth. Oh, and I got to tell you, Gallery sent me a new kit, and it is called their Majestic Snake Collection. And I got to tell Gallery, I sent them an email saying that when I got it, the packaging box was destroyed. I mean, it looked like a tank drove over it, and I'm not exaggerating. So I was kind of in a panic. I opened up the package, the outer package, and the inner package was even just destroyed. I mean, it was shredded. So I'm thinking that somehow it got out of the box, and they just kind of packed it all back in shipping and wrapped it with a half a roll of packing tape. So it's not Gallery's fault. It happened in shipping, and it's, the collector's box isn't a big, huge deal, although it is pretty darn cool. But what you get with the collector's box, and they got this is brand spanking new. I'm moving this out of the way, and I should have drum roll here. But you get the new Mobius siphon feed with the glass jar, and you also get the new, it's called the Mobius TG, and this is a 0.5. It comes with the 0.5 millimeter. It comes with the fan on the front. It comes with a MAC valve, which the other one didn't have a MAC valve. I don't really use them that often, but now that I have the opportunity, I'll probably learn. But it also comes with a cap. But I'll tell you what, I got to take this apart. I'm so excited. It comes with a huge cup, but let me do it like I always do. I'm going to take it apart from the back. Loosen up the lock nut or jam nut. Pull that back a half an inch. That way when you take this apart, you don't stab yourself or mess up the needle. But look at here. They updated the old swallowtail to a Mobius needle. And I'm telling you, that makes a big difference. It really, really, really did. This thing sprayed beautifully. I wanted to try it out just because of how destroyed that the packaging was. But the way I've always said, the way they package their stuff, it's like it's bulletproof. And no kidding, this thing, I'm going to put this back so I don't forget, and then push paint all over the floor. But this thing came perfect. Absolutely perfect. Because of this right here. Their packaging is second to none. And then it has that foam over the top of it, and it saved it. I mean, you can tell that you can even see scuff marks on here, but none of the airbrushes took a hit. So I got lucky with that. Again, I'm not worried about the container. It's just that I was worried about these not working. I ran both of them yesterday, and they work awesome. So I will definitely do an unboxing video and a teardown on that. But I wanted to show you that because it did such a smooth job. I was saying I'm going to rub this out, but it doesn't need a whole lot. It just needs, that little where I sprayed this way and then this way and over the top. Because the sides are smooth as glass. They really are. And it covered great. I had a lot of control because, you know me, I don't use primer. So I put a light, just a mist coat down, and the mist coat was just smooth as glass. I was like, there's no speckles, there's no spatter, there's no nothing except for just a smooth coat of paint. And then I did my next coat and then my 2 floods, and I couldn't ask for any more. When I looked at this, when it was wet, it was smooth. I mean, you could see like mirror reflection. So I'm hoping once we do the clear coat, and I'm going to use my siphon feed for the clear coat, but I think once we do that, this is going to really shine. So there's that. Back to the chassis and the frame. I have plans, big plans, which usually don't work out, but these are going to. I painted the axle purple just to match up with the frame, and then I painted my differential aluminum, and that will give me a good contrast of colors. I'm going to do the gas tank. I'm going to look and see if I should do the gas tank and the wheel well in the aluminum too, but I'm not sure. With that being said, the front suspension, the centerpiece, is going to be aluminum, or is going to be the purple, the body or the frame color, but then all of the suspension is going to be either like metallic gray or the aluminum. So I think that's going to really look great up front along with everything else. I just didn't have time to paint everything. I sure did want to. But again, this is for the Grandpa Mark's Hobbies February group build. Started February. We have no end date. So if you want to, jump on in. Let's talk about my engine, because this is something I've never done. This is a Cadillac, the 311 engine, which is a new one for me. I've never done this. I still haven't glued the valley pan in yet, but I wanted to do the block, the water pump in purple. I'm going to chrome the oil pan and the transmission pan, aluminum the transmission and the bell housing. I already aluminummed the heads and the intake and the generator. So this is going to get purple. And I'm planning on trying to wire this too, but we'll see with all the other things going on in there. But like I said, the water pump is going to be purple. And again, with the firewall and everything, with the battery, it'll be black, just, normal battery. It's a 6-volt battery, which is cool. First car in a long time I've done 6-volt battery. So that'll be cool. But with that, I'm doing the lavender firewall. And I started to do a little bit of detail work on that. And I'm very happy with how much detail's in here. I still have a few touch-ups and things to go, but it's got the starter solenoid, It's got the voltage regulator, and it's got the block. So everything's there. If I really wanted to, I could have sanded all those wires off and ran this to where they were supposed to go. And man, it would have been really cool. It had taken me seven years, and I really want to get 2 builds in for this February's group build. But for the wires, I told you before that I thought that I had a white paint pen. And I looked high and low for it, and I finally realized I did buy it, and it's still in the box. But for the black and the red and the blue wires, I just used those paint markers. And I did have the white. I wasn't going crazy. I just forgot where I put it. So I'll show you with these paint markers. These are in my Amazon. I got them off of Amazon, but I will put a link in, not this video because I already wrote the links and everything up, but the next video, because I'm not going to be done using these yet. But these are awesome. They got the real nice, fine, pointy point tip, and it's really a pointy tip. And then on the other side, it's got a nice, round, huge tip. And I messed around with the white one the other day, and I'm going to make a mess over here just to show you. But it'll do white walls. So there we go. And this wasn't even trying. This was just me saying, I wonder if it'll work, and it did. So there's that. Now let's grab the interior. Dogs are going nuts. The pizza guy must be here. But for the interior, I'm upside down, Mark. I went with the lavender for the dashboard. And then today I came in with my green stuff chrome and chromed out a few of the things that I wanted chrome. Again, this is a custom, so I can custom do whatever I want with it. But I wanted to do the chrome first before I come back, because what I'm going to do is on some places on here, and I'm not even going to go into detail, but pretty much the lower section on this, we're going to go purple and tie everything in to the interior too with that. So everything that's going to be metal is going to follow suit with the body colors and all that. I was proud of myself. I even remember to do the cross member. So there is that. And now I want to show you one more thing, and I will let you go so you don't think I'm just rambling here. I did have kind of method to my madness. Well, I'm going to show you one thing before I show you that. That's not the color I'm going to use. I was thinking about painting this thing a high gloss yellow. So I painted these already. That's just acrylic paint. The folk art. And I like this color. This is called folk art Hazy Moon. And I honestly think that I'm going to paint a car body this color. I got a car back here that I wasn't sure what color to paint it, so I didn't grab it yet. And I think I'm going to go with this. But what I'm going to end up doing is, where this is yellow, I'm going to go, boy, that dog is going to... But where this is yellow, I'm going to go with purple mixed with gloss white and make a light purple, just like a hazy purple. And we're going to do all of the yellow part in that, along with in here. I'm going to do that with the purple, and then chrome on the bottom. And I think I might leave this gray, like a medium color gray. And then for the carpet, I'm going to go with a darker gray. And I think that'll really, really blast this thing off into space. So there's my update plans for that. It'll probably change 4 times a Sunday before I grab the brush. Oh, and my steering wheel rocks. Check that out. That's green stuff chrome painted with a brush, and purple. I airbrushed everything first, and then green stuff that chrome on there. And man, I'm telling you, that's going to look great sitting in front of that lavender and purple dash. But now, check these out. I planned on using these from the get-go. And I planned on drilling holes in here for my LEDs. Just, I want to light my turn signals. I'm not going to make them flash or anything. I'm just going to light them. We're going to go a little cheaper on the electronics so I don't have to figure out how to hide a 9-volt. But what was cool is when I flipped this thing over, I wanted to run them through the pins. And I thought, well, that's going to be a pain in the behind to run those wires or run that pin vise all the way through this thing. And when I flipped it over, these got holes in them already. So talk about a win. All I had to do was put the drill bit here and go straight in, and it came right out in the middle where the light lenses are going to be. So that's a win. I'm going to leave the light lenses clear, and I'm going to take just a dot of clear orange and hit the turn signals with it. And, that'll give me the clear lens when it's off, and then it'll bright orange when it's on. So that'll be cool. And somewhere on here, I'm going to hide a touch switch to turn it on and off, just because that'll be fun to do. But with that, I think I've blown enough of your time. I will let you go. I want to thank everybody for all their subscriptions and kind words and keeping me going. I also want to thank Gallery for everything they've done for me. I want to thank all our veterans and first responders, because without them, we can't do what we're doing. And lastly, I want to thank Automotive Model Car Livecast. Every Thursday, they give me an hour of the most fun time on YouTube. I'm not kidding. Check them out. Thursday at 8 o'clock at night. I don't think you're going to be sorry. So with that, I will let you go. Y'all have a great day and a better tomorrow. And thank you very much for watching.